Welcome back, everyone. In today's episode of Just Pop It, I'm going to give you a tour of our pop-up camper and our campsite while we're at camp. In another video, I've given a tour of this camper. It was probably a couple of days after we bought it, but I want to give you a tour of what it's like to really camp in this thing. This is a Rockwood Freedom 1640 FT tent trailer. So let's get started. So giving a tour of these things while you're at camp is a little differently than giving a tour, whether it be on an RV lot, a dealership lot, or when it's just empty. But we've got everything hooked up and everything inside. We got our beds made. So I just want to give everyone an idea of what it's like to camp in this thing. Again, as a reminder, this is a Rockwood Freedom 1640 FT pop-up trailer. This is a pop-up camper by Rockwood. Forest River makes this. And let's just start off here at the tongue. So we do have a manual tongue jack, not electric, but when you get a pop-up camper, you sacrifice some of the things that you would normally get with a traditional travel trailer. So this is a manual jack. It does come with a battery and 2 propane tanks. So we got 2 propane tanks there. But this is one of the bunk ends here. As you can see, we've got our braces up. This is what pop-up is all about. You do have to support your bunk ends, so you don't want to lay in this thing without these bars here. So let's get over here on the business end of things. So we have 30 amp power in our pop-up. It does have a side mounted air conditioner, so it just cycled off, but that's where the condensation drips from the air conditioner. 30 amp power, as I mentioned. Now, this is a freshwater tank. I believe it's only a 10-gallon freshwater tank in this camper. But if you were to fill your freshwater tank, that's where you do that. Now, we do have city water as well. This is the connection to the city water. Now, this camper does not have a bathroom. It only has a sink. So just one sink. There's no bathroom. There's no toilet. So we don't have a gray tank. So where does our sink water go? This is actually our gray tank. I know it says city water connector here, but this is the city water connection, and this is where the sink water comes out. So again, this is a pop-up camper, and you just sacrifice some things when you get a pop-up, and this is one of those. But whenever we run the sink inside, the sink water just runs directly out of this hole here. So I just got a piece of clear tubing here, and it fit perfectly in there. And then of course you have to, travel with a bucket, unless you just want your toothpaste water and soapy water just to run out on the ground. So I just let that run in there, and then we do have a sewer connection at our campsite, and I just empty the bucket into the sewer connection. This is the other bunk end. Of course, we're supported here as well. So we have a twin size bed on this end and a full size bed on the other side there. But there's enough room underneath the bunk ends to store your boxes. So if it rains, your storage tubs here will stay dry. So we ended up just putting a rug down. This is a bit of a muddy campsite here. Water tends to build up right here. I forgot to mention we are at Oak Mountain State Park, located in Pelham, Alabama. Now this is the door, what I would call the travel door, and it just stores nicely right up under this bunk end here. Now you want to make sure when you're taking down camp, you want to make sure you take this door off before you push this bunk end inside, because that will catch and you'll end up breaking your door or ripping something to pieces, and you don't want to do that. So I think this is a wonderful storage space for the door, but again, just as a reminder, do not try to push this in with that door there. So if you're forgetful, you may want to find another spot for this door here. Now this is a trash can. We like to keep a trash can outside. We produce a lot of trash when we're traveling as a family. Now this is a fish cleaning table. You can find these on Amazon. There's lots of different kinds, but just get on Amazon and search for a fish cleaning table. and it just runs directly into that bucket as well. So there's no gray tank per se. So the water just runs into a bucket, and you can pour that down the sewage drain as well. But I have a splitter on the water connection at the pedestal, and we just have running water here at our sink. Look at that, water coming straight out. You can wash your hands, prepare meals, and the water just runs right into the bucket there. But we keep this table right next to our cooktop, which is a Suburban griddle. Now this Suburban griddle came with the camper straight from the Rockwood factory, so it runs on propane. But this griddle has been great, prepared many breakfasts and dinners for us, so we love it out here. It's a convenient location. The griddle sits directly onto these brackets here that you just screw in, 4 screws, 2 on each side, and then the bracket just sits directly in that track there. So that's what all Rockwood campers come with, this nifty little track, and it just rests on that. And there's a flat plate here that pushes against the side of the camper so it doesn't scratch it. It's a wonderful design. While I'm out here, I want to mention this Igloo cooler that we have. This is not a 12-volt cooler, it's not a refrigerator, it's just an old-fashioned cooler. And right now we just have mostly water in there, a little bit of fruit, snacks, but it does keep ice very well. I'm a big fan of it. It's a beach cooler, which is why you see the large wheels there, and we have taken it to the beach numerous times, but we like to travel with this. It's a wonderful cooler, and it has a bottle opener right here. Place to put your phone. It's another little storage cubby right here, and the handle does pull out like that. And you have this nice little storage cup holder right here that stores on the inside of the cooler. So look at that. So this is obviously the camp side of the pop-up. We do have our awning out. This is a manual awning. It's not electric, so it just rolls up into that area there, and you tie it up and then just zip it right up. But I've demonstrated this in other videos, but this pole telescopes into itself, and then it just folds into that bar, and then it has another pole that's connected to the side of the camper there, and it also telescopes and folds up into that, and then you just manually roll it up back into the camper. Now we do have a towel here. Obviously we drape towels here just to dry off the towel, but it's also a reminder that, hey, there's a pole there. This is a single axle trailer, so no need for a double axle. This camper only weighs about 1,700 pounds. And then it just has a manual step. You just lift it and push, lift and pull. Now, one thing that we do as a family, we keep a shoe storage tub here, and that's just where we keep our shoes in case it rains at night. Now we have our awning out now, but sometimes we do not pull our awning out. But it's a great idea just to have a small storage tub here to keep your shoes in, to keep that sealed, and we just slide it underneath the camper there. Keeps your shoes dry if it rains. A couple of camp chairs. We got to have loungers and rockers. We do have one cheap camp chair here. I think it's important to splurge and just get you a nice comfy camp chair. This one here is my wife's. It's a Venture Forward lounger. It's very comfortable, and I just went with a CGI outdoor rocker. It's 95 degrees today. Even though we're in the shade, it's hot. So let's go inside. So first I want to talk about this door. So this door actually comes off. As I mentioned the other door earlier that's stored up under the bunk end, that's the travel door, but this is your door while you're camping. It does end up storing in the top of the camper there in that track system. So let's step inside and cool off. I'll pan around a bit and give you a quick little view of everything, and then I'm going to cut the air conditioner off so you can hear me. Alright, so I just turned that to 75 real quick just to give me time to finish filming this video, but it does have an electric thermostat here. Now this is where your water heater switch is. Forgot to point that out while we were outside, but it does come with the, I believe it's a 5-gallon water heater. And then there's your water pump if you were pulling water from your fresh water tank. We are not using our fresh water tank today, so our water pump is off. We're connected to city water. And while we're pointed in this direction, I will just go ahead and start with the sink here. So in a pop-up camper, this sink folds up or folds down. Now, when you close up camp, when you shut down camp, this sink pulls forward and it just sits right here in the floor. So on takedown day, you want to let all the water run out of your lines. Get all the water out, because when you flip this upside down, you're going to have some drippage on the floor. So make sure you run all the water out of your lines. And then while traveling, while this sink is down, you see here, it just pulls forward. You want to place some towels or even a small bucket underneath it to catch some water, because it never fails on travel day. We always find some water on the floor here, and we don't want any water damage in our camper. So this is where my daughter sleeps. Pardon her luggage here, but we got some nice little twinkle lights here. We have LED strip lighting that is just plugged into the top of the camper here. Provides some excellent lighting for reading at night and just winding down, getting ready for bed. And then we have these bunk end organizers here, which is great to just put small things so they don't get lost. Coming on around, we've got a Magic Chef fridge. Now this is a small fridge, very small, but again, this is a pop-up camper. This is small time living, okay? So just small enough to keep things in. We're camping here for 4 nights, but you know, we keep some things in that outdoor igloo and just keep a few things here in the inner fridge. But it's enough for us. And then we have a small 4-cup coffee maker inside the camper. Now we have to make multiple pots, but when you're camping in a pop-up, you have to have small things. So we didn't want to bring a 12-cup full-size coffee maker, so we just travel with that 4-cup and just make multiple pots. For ambiance, we do have a little lamp there that we plug in at night just to have some nice lighting. And we have a small TV here, and we actually have never watched TV on this, but we figured we'd give it a try here, bring the TV, and we'll see how Oak Mountain State Park's Wi-Fi coverage is, and we'll see if we can get Netflix going. Now the girls have to travel with a mirror, so hi. And Mr. Moose travels with us as well. He has come on every camp trip with us, and he's still decked out in his wintertime gear, but he doesn't get hot. So he likes traveling in his Christmas wintertime gear here, but he does have a do-rag and some sunglasses on, so he's chilling. And then we're back to the front door here. So we like to keep a little rug here that we can just shake out from time to time, but we do try to take our shoes off before coming in, even though I wore my sandals in here. While I'm pointed in this direction, this is the campsite. Now the windows are plastic. Now if it were a nice day with a cool breeze, you can unzip this fully and it will just leave you with netting here. So no bugs are going to get in, but you're going to get that breeze going. And if it's a really nice day, you can unzip every single one of these windows. I mean, look at all of this window coverage. When I have everything unzipped, it's just panoramic views everywhere you look. But it's a hot day and I've got the air conditioner going, so I wanted to keep a lot of these windows zipped up to protect us from the sun. And then up top, we have a rooftop fan here. So it's got 4 speeds on it. It unlocks here, and then you turn it to open the cover. And where are we at here? Fan speed 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on a nice day, you open this fan, turn it on, unzip all the windows, and it creates a nice cool breeze coming through the pop-up camper. I cannot wait for fall. That's the time that I'm looking forward to the most. And let's lock that back up. This is the full size bed. I know I mentioned twin size on the behind me and then full size here, but this is actually a little bit larger than a full size. It's in between a full and a queen. Plenty enough room for me and my wife, and the bed behind me that our daughter sleeps on, that's actually a little bit bigger than a twin size. I guess some people will call that a twin XL. And we have our bunk end organizer there as well. Also with another LED strip in that bunk end. Now each individual light you can turn on and off. This is a little bug zapper here, so I turn that on at night and it catches plenty of bugs. It does a wonderful job. Smoke detector there. Here's our couch here in the middle of the camper in our living space. Nice comfy cushions to relax on. It is supported with a piece of wood here that you have to fold down while taking down camp. Underneath of here is a storage area. So these cushions here connect just by Velcro. Let's see if I can demonstrate. And it's just a piece of plywood here that you remove. And it's mostly bedding in here, but when we travel, I keep our griddle in here. And then I just stuff, you know, all the linens around it so it doesn't shake around and cause any damage. But that's a pretty big storage space there. And it goes up underneath that side as well. We do have a little lagoon table, which is what I call it. And it comes with a pedestal pole that just slips down in there. And then that white piece of wood there, that's actually the tabletop. But we didn't bring that out on this trip. There we go. So coming down from that area, here is our air conditioner. And it is a side mounted AC. I showed you that from the outside. This works fantastic. It's almost overkill for this small camper, but we're thankful to have it. Coming on over, we've got a plug here. A drawer. Now we keep our coffee in, plastic utensils, fly swatter, coffee filters, and just some miscellaneous items. Below that is our fuse box. Now I do keep some extra fuses here in case I need to replace one of these. And then this is where your breakers will trip if you run too many things at one time. So if you ever have any electrical issues, you want to come here first, make sure these have not tripped. You will have a red light showing on one of these fuses here if one of them goes out, and you just pull it out and replace it with a new one. Another drawer here with some miscellaneous cooking items, lighters, spatula, toothpicks, aluminum foil. And then we're back to the sink here. Now, next to the fridge, we have a little cabinet here that we keep a small trash can in, some paper towels, other miscellaneous items. We do have a furnace in this camper, so we've only used it once. We have been camping in hot weather areas, so we have not utilized this furnace yet, but it does run off of the propane tanks on the front. And the one time that we did use it, it worked well. Our smoke detector went off because I believe maybe there was some dust in the lines, and it just blew it out, so it made the smoke detector go off. But looking forward to the fall season, and we'll test this out again, and I'll check back in with you. And down below here, this is just some information about the solar panel that is on top of the camper. You really don't have to mess with that. It's just read-only kind of information. I really don't pay it any attention, but it's there if you need it. And then coming back around to the door, this is your ceiling light here. Everything is on. And then we do have an awning light as well that we turn that on when it starts getting dark for ambiance. And another GFCI protected outlet here as well. USB-C and USB plugs here that you can charge your devices with. And one final cabinet for you to look in, with just a ton of miscellaneous items. You gotta have a vacuum when you're pop-up camping. You track in a lot of dirt and dust, so this comes in handy. We love this Ryobi handheld vacuum right here, and we take this battery off as well and plug it into this Ryobi fan. These little handheld Ryobi fans are wonderful. You just take the battery out of that. The same battery works multiple Ryobi. I think I'm saying it right. Is it Ryobi or Ryobi? Either way, wonderful products. We love this fan and we love the vacuum. As a matter of fact, I'll take that battery off and put it in the fan. Can you tell that I'm hot? I'm sweating. I got to cut this air conditioner back on, but in the meantime, I'm going to use this Ryobi fan to cool off. So please excuse my sweaty shirt and the sweat on my face, but I do want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this tour of our camper. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have in the comment section, and I promise I'll reply to you. Again, thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see ya.